Howdy folks, DBart here, coming to you with another recipe from the MariaDB cookbook. Today we are going to be switching between InnoDB and XtraDB. I've got my lucky classic MariaDB t-shirt on, so I am all ready to go. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Now, the default storage engine in MariaDB is XtraDB, which is a enhanced version, if you will, of InnoDB, which is the default storage engine in MySQL. XtraDB, for most usage, will give you a slight performance boost, along with some other features, and so that's why the developers have chosen it for MariaDB. But the regular InnoDB is also included in MariaDB, and you can switch back and forth between them, just depending on, maybe you have a requirement, or maybe you're testing something and you want to see if it works exactly the same on InnoDB as it does on XtraDB or whatnot. So first up, how can you tell if you are using XtraDB or InnoDB? It's actually fairly easy to do. What we'll do is, I've got an Ubuntu Trusty box here, and we can connect to MariaDB, and basically all we have to do is run the show engines command, which is, I'm going to do a /G so the output is formatted nicer for our purposes today, and we run that. And then if we look down here, the very last row is engine InnoDB. It's like, okay, that's standard. But then in the comment, it says Percona XtraDB. That is our clue that this version of InnoDB is actually Percona XtraDB. So that is what we are running right now. So how do we change that? Well, it's actually pretty easy. So we'll go back to the command line, and what we have to do, let's switch over to the etc MySQL directory, and let's go ahead and edit the my.cnf file. So now if we go to the MySQLD section, there it is. There's a couple lines that we need to add to the MySQLD section. So what I'll do is I'll scroll down here till I get to the end of the MySQLD section. And I could put this in another file. Doesn't matter as long as it's in a MySQLD section. All right, here we go. So this is the bottom of the MySQLD section. There's a couple of lines we need to add. I've got them in another file just to make it a little bit easier, and so I don't mistype it while I'm demoing things here. Okay, so the first thing is to ignore built-in InnoDB. And then the second is plugin load InnoDB and then the name of the SO file. So with those two lines in there, it's basically saying, hey, the built-in InnoDB is, as I said before, XtraDB. Ignore that, instead load the plugin InnoDB, and here's the name of the file. So go ahead and right quit, and then all we have to do is restart MariaDB. So we'll .d/mysql restart. Go ahead and restart that. All right, so now let's check to see if we actually are running stock InnoDB. So I fat-fingered that password. There we go. All right, let's run the same command again, show engines. And now, if you look, here we are, engine InnoDB. Comment, there is nothing about XtraDB. This is regular InnoDB that we are running now. That's all there is to it. If we want to switch back to XtraDB, because we find that the performance isn't quite as good, or for whatever reason, all we have to do is remove those two lines from the two lines that we added to our config file, restart MariaDB, and we will be back to using XtraDB again. So that's all there is to it. Thanks for watching.